And welcome back to another episode of HU Flow, the podcast here on HU in Richmond. As always, for your host this week is Steven here. And I'm joined here by a very special guest here that when we get into it, you'll understand why I say special. His name is Kurtis. What's up, Kurtis? What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, Steven? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, buddy. So, first and foremost, Kurtis, tell the audience a little about yourself. Specifically, what you major in, and what year are you?
I'm currently in my second year in the IMED program,
Okay.
more specifically purposeful game design.
Awesome.
So my first year was online, so I wasn't able to have the true college experience.
Oh.
But this year so far has been going pretty well.
Okay, cool. So could you tell us a little bit about the major? What is IMED in a nutshell?
IMED is anything around, IMED stands for interactive media.
Mm-hmm.
So that's any like technology based, so like social media, graphic design, stuff like that.
Okay.
You can also go into coding and computer sciences.
Okay.
But I wanted to go towards purposeful game design because I went to a summer camp here in HU about 3 years ago. I think it was like the summer after my junior year.
Mm.
And that was like a test of whether or not I was going to go for that major in HU. And just happened and I went for it. I'm still in it, still enjoying it.
Okay, so that's dope. So the thing is, why I said you're a special guest, because I was the TA for that camp. So I remember teaching you, helping you out in that. And I was just like, when I heard that you came here, it was very surprising. And also, I'm just very honored to say, like, hey, I did that. I was part of a class that helped, camp that helped inspire you to come here. So that's definitely dope. And that's what we really like to do at our camps, help discover what inspires you and all the cool things that we do here at university. So let's jump back a little bit to talk about you and like growing up. So where are you originally from?
I was born and raised in Wilmington, Delaware.
Mm.
So not many people have probably heard of it because it's a very small state. Everybody knows everybody.
Right.
Just real simple life. Raised in like a suburban area
Mm.
with my mom, my dad, and my sister, younger sister. Growing up, it was, they taught me very good values. I'd like to really thank my parents for that. Throughout my whole life, they've taught me good work ethic through a variety of ways. Feel empathy towards others, which is important, and to just be a good communicator and talk to people.
Hey man, some good thoughts, man. Shout out to your parents who are watching this right now. As when we release this today, is your parents will be watching this. I remember we were talking about that beforehand. So shout out to your parents. They're really amazing people. So that's like for you growing up. Okay, so where do you go to high school from?
So high school was a little shaky for me.
Okay.
It was a little bit of an experience. I originally started my freshman year at Dickinson High School.
Mm.
I went into this new program to me. It was the IB program, Interbaccalaureate. I don't know how to pronounce it anymore.
Gotcha.
But basically it was just like an advanced, and it was kind of like a test thing. It was new to the school, and I don't want to call out the school, but it didn't really go well.
Gotcha.
So I ended up transferring a little halfway through my freshman year to Mount Pleasant, which also had an IB program. So I wanted to stay in the program, but I didn't want to do it with that school. And I found out that Mount did it for longer, and they've had success. And so I went there, and I really enjoyed it. It was a better experience.
Okay.
But early high school was hard because there was a point where something would go wrong, and then it would just snowball down. So what originated was I broke my leg playing for the freshman basketball team, and then things kind of just happened over and over again. Bottom line, I was in a wheelchair for a couple months.
Okay.
I basically missed my whole freshman year of high school, and so it was really hard because I switched schools real early. I had to adapt to that, and then I was missing school, and so I couldn't do midterms and stuff like that. But overall, it was just really a very good teaching moment for me in my life, and I wouldn't have changed it, to be honest.
Oh, damn, dude, that is a lot to go through in high school. I mean, I've heard my fair share of stories, but that is up there for sure. I mean, injuries are never fun.
Right.
Just like dealing with the physical aspect, and also once you're like back together, it's like you're very hesitant to do the things you did before because you're just so worried about recurring injuries.
Right.
So I feel like that's probably what the thought you had maybe somewhere down there. But then also to end up in a wheelchair, it's never fun. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy to hear. But I mean, hey, you're here today, so you got through it somehow, some way. So tell me about the college process to you. So so I know you found our school through our camp, but were there any other schools you were looking at before you picked us?
To be completely honest with you, I didn't really know what I wanted to do at all.
Okay.
It was junior year. I was getting real anxious about, I know a lot of students panic about what am I going to do? What am I going to pursue? And for me, of course, I was panicking, but I went to my college fairs. So I went to a college fair in Philly. Just give your emails out to schools that you're even remotely interested in or not interested in.
Yep.
Because you never know until, they reach out or you reach out to them.
Right.
So I looked at a couple places, a couple tech schools, because I knew I wanted something to do with technology.
Right.
And I wanted to help people because from a young age, I've always wanted to do that.
Gotcha.
But my problem was I didn't know exactly which way.
Right.
And so in Philly, I gave a couple schools my emails, including HU.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I dug further into those schools, HU, I had seen that they had a summer camp available that was coming up. And I was like, this could be cool. Let me go to this and see, okay, maybe I'll be interested in that, depending on how it goes. It's going to be like a double thing where, okay, if it goes well, I like the school and how they operate. And if it goes well again, I can go towards that topic and kind of work towards that.
So basically, you saw our camp, and for those wondering what Kurtis, the camp he's referring to, we have a video game design camp that's taught by Ashley. He's really dope. We basically teach kids how to make a game in a week through a program called Click Team Fusion. So that's what Kurtis did about 3 years ago, and I was a TA for that camp, like I said. So at the end of the week, we would have the parents come in and get to see a presentation of the kids and their games. So we got to see Kurtis's game. And Kurtis, why don't you tell us a little bit about the game you made?
First, I'd like to add too, they do provide housing, which I thought was really cool because, like I said, I'm from Delaware and it'd be like a 2-hour commute.
Yep.
And that would be very hard to do throughout the week.
Yeah.
So they did provide housing for people who needed it. And I was one of the only kids that needed it.
Well, that you know of.
That week, I think.
Yeah, that week, I think you were the only one. But yeah. I think there's other kids we had.
But yeah, it was really cool. I just wanted to add that. And then, I'm sorry, what was your question?
So basically, talk to us about the game you made.
Oh, okay. So basically, before we got into actually making the game, we did practices about, how to work or operate with Click Team Fusion.
Yep.
And then some basic game principles like, okay, what problem do you want the player to solve? Stuff like that. And then you get to be real creative over the week. You just learn how to do certain things. Click Team Fusion is mostly like a 2D game, so it's going to be like a platform kind of Mario type game. And for me, I'm a big fan of pixelated games like that and like vibrant colors. So my game, I named it Alien Abduction. I had the sky was pink, like a hot pink. The clouds were blue. And basically, the player played as a UFO that abducted humans, and then it would add up to a score. So it was a really simple game, but for my first game, I really enjoyed it. And working with Click Team Fusion and then working with the staff, Ashley, yourself, and a few other students that were helping. And it was just a real fun experience. And that's what really sold me is people at HU, like pretty much everyone that I've been in contact with the staff and stuff, they've all been really nice. They answer very quickly. And so it's those little things that really draw your attention towards the school. And that was just amazing to me.
I mean, I'm glad that, you picked our university. I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad you just enjoyed the camp. And, because that's really the end goal. Because our tagline is discover what inspires you. Right. And, we helped inspire you with teaching about some video game design. And that inspired you to come here. And, you're furthering your education because you want to do something in the long term, which is probably around that same field. So, so then you went through the process, college fairs, did all that. You did a camp. And then the camp, once that did, okay, I'm going to HU. So then, now here's the unique part with you. Your first year at HU was not like your typical freshman year because due to COVID-19, you were at home. So talk to me about your freshman year. How was that experience for you?
For me, it wasn't as bad as as it hit other students. I know that learning online can be very difficult for some people, and at times I did find it real difficult. And in no way was I excelling, but overall I wouldn't say it was that bad. The only thing that I really missed out on was like actually going to the school. So like I was just real unmotivated because I'm getting out of bed, going on the computer, eating food, going back to bed, and once I got here, it just became like a even better experience for me.
Good. I was going to ask, like a couple of things with your freshman years, since it's all online, that means classes are online. That also means you're social, if you're trying to engage with other people and learn, make friends. It's also online. So was that difficult for you to like make friends with your freshman class during that time?
I would say I didn't make like friends because I kind of felt that it was awkward in a way to like hit people up online and be like, yo, do you want to be a friend of mine or something along the lines of that. I'm more of an in-person kind of friend maker. But I did like meet a few people in my classes, and we had group discussions for assignments. Good. So in a way you do make acquaintances among your classmates and stuff.
That's good. So then let's fast forward to your sophomore year, which you are now. Yep. So when you first got here, because then now it's kind of ironic. I'm talking about your sophomore year as your first year when it's supposed to be freshman year, but like it's a weird combo. So tell me about that move-in process for you. How was that?
The move-in process was flawless. I don't want to hype up the school, but it was great. The assembly line they had where you just pull in, got your stuff, put it in a bin, go to your room, put it in your bin room or whatever. I was very thankful with the roommates that I got because that was a little bit of a worry for me. Right. Because I don't want to live with someone that I don't get along with. Of course. But everyone I've met here at HU hasn't been like a big problem or anything. Okay. So I am thankful for my roommates. Very nice guys. I went with a quad because one, it was cheaper, and with 3 other people, your odds of liking at least one of them is better than if you just get a double. True. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, and because for me, when I did that, I had similar situation with quad, and I was an MVP because most quads are an MVP. This was before the big renovations that they have that you have now. So I was just like going through the processes, living the life. I don't really regret living in the quad because you just learn a lot from it. I mean, personally, I think one of the big things I take away from that is just making me uncomfortable. But also, it's like a little bit of culture shock. Because that leads into my next question. Because now you're here. You're not in the life of a college student. Your parents are not on you 24/7. Yes, they'll call you in here now and then. Right. How was that like a feeling for you on your first day? You're here now. It was a very smooth transition for me. Because going back to my parents, they were very. I think they did a very well job raising me, and I know they're probably going to get emotional when I'm talking about this, but they raised me in a way that, like, they raised me themselves, but they also prepared me to be able to raise myself. So at a very early age, I was cooking dinners occasionally, and I was doing my own laundry at a pretty early age as well. And so just little things like that you do on a regular basis. Once you move out on your own, especially on campus, it's really not that hard. Yeah. I personally have been wanting to move out for a very long time. I love my family, but it's sometimes a bird's got to leave its nest. Of course. And that's dope. I mean, you're already doing the thing that you do in college and learning those processes. Because a lot of guys who come here, they don't know how to cook. They've never washed their clothes in a day in their life. Yeah. So the fact that you know how to do that stuff doesn't mean, well, you were raised well. I mean, your parents are amazing from hearing this. And if they're getting emotional, they should. They raised a good kid. So shout out to them. So, okay, so now you're here. Your major is intermediate, same as mine. But you have the concentration is purposeful game design. So how has that been for you? How's the classes been for you so far? I love it. And the big thing, too, is freshman year, I was a little hesitant about staying in because it wasn't necessarily focused yet. So my freshman year, I had just one IMED course, and it kind of broke into the subcategories. So you had coding, you had game design, and other things. And so they were all fun, but I wanted to really dive into purposeful game design because that's my goal. That's what I aspire to do. And now I'm really getting into the nitty gritty of, purposeful game design. Like I have a class for purposeful game design, and I'm loving it right now.
Wait, who teaches that?
Dr. Boudreaux.
Yeah, that's good. I love her too. She's awesome. She's awesome. So now you're doing the classes. You're here. You're doing all the things. How has your social life been here so far? Has it been more than what you anticipated, or just like right on par?
Right now, I'm kind of focusing on myself, I'd say,
okay.
And then just letting things happen naturally.
Right.
So I'm meeting people in my classes and being friendly with them, but I've made a schedule for myself for school, going to the gym early in the morning, waking up, having a purpose, and right now I'm just like the happiest that I've ever been.
That's dope. That's awesome. I mean, look, as long as you're happy and you're doing the thing, and like the fact that you're talking about scheduling, that's good. Yeah. A sophomore, typically, maybe in a science major, maybe, but most guys don't even got a schedule or an idea of what they want to do when they wake up. They just wake up, go to class, and call it a day. The fact that you got a whole system is even better because it helps you just keep on the go. Hell, you can get some more extra time during your day. So,
yeah, definitely.
So I definitely love you have that going. Mm-hmm. So you pick this major, pick this concentration. Now, you're a sophomore, so I'm not going to assume you know already, but you definitely will do something in the gaming field. That seems very evident. But I'll ask, do you know what you want to do once you graduate yet, or that's still in the process?
So I'd say my $1 million idea, I'm not going to share it because I don't want someone to steal it.
Of course.
I'll basically describe what I want to do. So like I said before, during my childhood, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to help somebody.
Right.
So I played video games. I started on like the Wii, and I was playing Mario Kart, Smash Bros, stuff like that. And video games slowly progressed and just became a regular thing in my life. And I was like, you know what? Why can't I combine helping people with video games? And then as I'm getting into this class of mine, I'm realizing that Games for Change is like a thing. And I didn't know that. Many people don't know that. But it's very effective. I mean, I just learned the other day that you can prescribe a video game officially.
That is new to me. I didn't know that.
And yeah, so things like that are just astonishing to me. And so my end goal is I just want to make a game that's not only fun, but like trains or educates someone in some way.
I like that. I think you'll end up probably taking a class in your senior year if it's still around to like Palmer. Professor Palmer, it's VR based. So there's a lot of games around just making experiences for individuals.
Right.
Because there's something you'll learn in one of your classes. I don't know if Boudreaux, Payton, or Palmer, but you learn about that process where basically you set a goal or a purpose of what is it that you want to do. From there, you go through, okay, what are the specific platforms you can do this on? What does work? What doesn't work? Trial and error until you get to your alpha and beta testings. And then from there, once you kind of clear out, got the critiques, you flushed it out, you get to your final product. And a lot of times that final product could be a game idea or game concept with the levels, for example,
right.
Or it could be an actual experience, like a VR experience, or because there's VR and then there's AR, augmented reality. But the VR, what I'm more focused on, is just giving that visual thing for those. So I think that goes right up the alley what you're trying to do because the experience that definitely helps someone out. So I look forward to see what you do with that. Yeah. I mean, Game for Change, that's my first time hearing it, but I feel like it's something Boudreaux probably told me.
Yeah, it's a generalized topic of, games for health, games for education, therapy games, like things like that.
Gotcha.
So pretty much any game that like is fun, but like its main purpose isn't to be for entertainment; it's for change.
That's awesome, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to what you do with that. I mean, because like any game that helps someone physically, mentally, I think that's a W anywhere. So definitely excited to see what you do with that.
Don't get me wrong, I'd love to make like a purposeful, entertaining game too, just as like another goal. But I do want to focus in on the purposeful one.
All right. I mean, hey man, the game industry definitely needs people like you. So keep at it, man. I think you'll do just fine. So my next question is more on the side of like since we've answered pretty much all the college questions, I talked to you about college, like the classes, stuff like that. Let's talk a little bit outside the box here. So, what is your like? Are you someone that you consider is like an active social media user, not so much, or in the middle? Like I use it sometimes, but not often.
So about me is I was in a very bad state or a bad relationship with social media because I felt like it was consuming too much of my time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, I think social media is a great thing for certain things, but it can also be a very bad and negative place.
Of course.
And so for me, I had enough of it one day and I was like, you know what, I really don't need this.
Right.
And so TikTok gone, Instagram gone, Snapchat gone. And after I don't know how long it's been now, but it might be a year since I've had it.
Wow.
Or not had them. And to be honest, my life has changed and been better. But don't get me wrong, like social media can be a great place, and I commend people who get on there and spread positive messages. But like I said, too much negative energy can be on that place, and I don't really want to be around that or a part of that.
That's understandable. I mean, look, man. I mean, I'm in the field of it, so unfortunately, I still have to like tune in and tune out sometimes.
Right.
But I've learned to filter. Like I've learned to like what I need to focus on because there's this famous business guy known as Gary Vee. Everyone knows him.
Gary Vee, yeah.
He made this one video about like, look, social media is great, but also it sucks.
Right.
But you have to learn that whatever you seek, you can find it easily. You want positivity? That's it. Fine. Just only look at positive posting. You want negative? Fine, get that. If you want a mixture, then just casually scroll. That's it. You'll find the mixture to everything. There's always going to be a bad post about someone or something negative. It's really up to you how you handle it. Like you can just say, "Oh, I'm going to read this today," or you can read this tomorrow. Like it's fine. Exactly. But I don't think a lot of people do that at all because that's why people end up with screen times over like 10 plus hours.
That was my big issue. Is I would wake up and be on TikTok for like 2 hours. That's 2 hours I'm not doing something productive or even like. Not saying that you can't have fun, but
right.
Wouldn't you rather spend your time doing something you're passionate about than just endlessly scrolling?
I mean, that's still really the end goal, but I think a lot of people just get trapped in that. So It's very hard to get out of it because we can talk all day about getting out of it, talking about setting limits and stuff like that. But, because this is something me and Marilyn were talking about last week on our last podcast. We're like, okay, we can set limits on our phone, but like, we don't really follow those. Like, oh yeah, that warning. Okay. Hit okay. Yep. Back on that. Like there's unless somehow the app's getting physically shut for the rest of the day and I can't even do nothing about it, then I'm done.
That's why I kind of just like, all right, look, I'm just gonna cold turkey it, delete the 3 apps and see how it goes. If I really can't live without it, then I'll go back. But as the weeks went by, I was just like, you know what, I really don't like there was a point too where I didn't even want to go back. I still like I don't even want to go on Instagram or Snap. I still have accounts, but I just don't have the apps to even look.
Right. So you don't do no social media at all? Like not even YouTube?
I mean, I watch YouTube.
Okay. So. Yeah, I'm saying. I think the video's not really like that heavy personally. I think those other apps for sure, even Twitter or Reddit, those are definitely up there. But I mean, I don't use Twitter because I just don't like Twitter. I don't see no point in it.
I've never been on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I made one account when it was like. Well, that's how you know I'm old. When Twitter first came out, I first made an account around there. So this is like around 08, 09. But I still keep that account just because for nostalgia. But I don't get on it at all. So, but okay. I mean, because my question I was going to lead into about social media is like, because me and Marilyn last week, what we did, we talked to each other about our screen times. And both of us are at a measable like 5 to 6 range. But there was a time where I was like you. I had 10 plus hours on this thing. And but then also at the same time, I was in the worser mindset that I wanted to be. Now I'm in a much better one. I'm more happier than most days than typically. And it's all because, I made a commitment to myself like, hey, we got to chill. Yeah. Like, and my golden rule is 1 a.m. I should not be on any cellular device or anything tech till the next day I wake up. That's my golden rule just because I see no point in still being on something past that time point. Unless I'm out with friends doing something, then okay, that makes sense.
Right.
But other than that, no, I'm getting off this thing. I'll see it tomorrow because I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be like, it's there.
I found too that it's really stressful on your eyes late at night.
Oh yeah, and I don't think a lot of people do the because the blue light does affect your eyes a little bit, but there's a thing on your iPhone called night mode, which turns.
I think I've seen that.
It turns so after a certain time because you can schedule it to turn a certain time, or you can just turn it on. at a certain time, the thing just basically turns into a different dim of light that's more better for you, that makes you want to go to sleep versus like stay up. So, a little fun fact, if you don't know that, people, there's night mode on iPhone. I think Android had apps for that. So definitely look into those things. They'll definitely help you out. So, I asked about social media because we always like to add a social media talk about it on our podcast.
Right.
We also like to talk about, if you haven't seen it yet on Netflix, there's a thing called The Social Dilemma. I
think I have seen that. I think my mom forced me to watch it.
I think it's a very important documentary. Just really hits on, social media is great, but it also sucks bad. But also it talks about how, like, okay, we're still going to say it's bad, but there's some good uses with it. Right. But if you truly, at the end of the movie, they're talking to the people that actually make some of the stuff that you and I use. Right. And they're telling you how to not use their creations. You don't want to see recommendations? Get an ad blocker for it. Mm-hmm. You don't want to casually scroll? There's an apps for that to stop you from that. Mm-hmm. So while, yes, it's bad, there's still some good, but you need to really understand the good before the bad conflicts with your good, if that makes sense. Because it really we get to a point with social media where it's like, okay, is it really worth it to still be on it? And I mean, it's really up to the person if they're comfortable with it. Like for me, there's pros and cons to it, but I still do it. For yourself, you understand why you don't do as much, and that's fine. So great to hear that you're doing well without having social media in your life. And I mean, whenever you do come back, I mean, you do your thing. Yep. So more to you. But let's talk about a little bit about the city. So how have you been enjoying Harrisburg?
Oh, it's great. I love how everything is close by to the school. Mm. My apartment is right across the street from the school. There's a YMCA like half a mile on the water. Yep. And there's even Broad Street Market where you can get groceries. It's a little farther than half a mile, but I know the school also does Walmart trips. Yep. I haven't been on one myself yet because I haven't had to. Right. But yeah, like everything's in close proximity. Really, like everything's here.
That's good. And have you done any club with school yet, or?
I am in one club. I'm in the esports club. Okay. Just a real casual club. No competitive with other schools or anything, but we just play pretty much any games. I go there mainly for Smash Bros. That's my game. That's what I play a lot of right now.
What's your favorite
character? Captain Falcon.
Respect. Okay, yeah.
But I've recently picked up Banjo and Kazooie because I don't know, just like him. Okay. I never got to play any of his games. I haven't played many games myself, and so I know a lot of people in the video game field are going to be like, "Oh, you haven't played this? How dare you?" You know?
Oh, that always happens though.
Yeah. But yeah, I do like him as a character. But the esports club is awesome. You can go there and pretty much any game you name, someone in the room plays it, and you can play it. I've seen someone bring their entire PC into one of the classrooms and play. I don't know what he played, but he played some FPS or whatever.
That's amazing. I mean, but then look, when you're vibing, you'll see things. So like, okay. So my last thing I'll do is the thing we're adding called hot take. So basically, I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions, fast paced. You're gonna tell me yes, no, or I don't know, or if you want to get context, it's okay. Right. So ready? Pineapple and pizza. You like that? Yes or no?
Maybe.
Why?
It's like a feeling. I don't know. It's just like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like I gotta feel it.
Okay. Have you ever had it?
I could eat it, but I gotta be in the mood for like I don't know.
Okay. I mean,
I'm okay with it. I don't think it belongs, but I'm okay with it.
Okay. Is water wet?
Yes.
I love doing that because like some people say no and go to a whole tangent about why. Yeah. But okay. Next one, fall or winter?
Winter, 100%.
Oh wow. Okay. Spring or summer?
Spring.
Oh. Halloween or Christmas?
Christmas.
Good man. What is your favorite holiday all time? Gotta pick one.
All time.
All time. Pick one.
Probably Christmas.
Why?
I don't know. Just the sleeping in, pajamas, presents. I know that's selfish, but
it's okay.
Presents, giving presents.
Okay, it's okay. Name your top 5 video games of all time.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Mm-hmm. Any Mario Kart, just the whole Mario Kart genre. Fortnite, because I think it made a big impact. I don't play it anymore, but I did. And oh boy,
There's no
Wii
ties.
Sports.
Wii Sports. I like it. I like it. That music is hidden. Okay, what's your go-to song in the gym?
Ooh. I'm a classic kind of guy. Not classic music, but like older stuff. So like anything Marvin Gaye, I'll listen
I love
to.
it.
It's a little weird because I know a lot of people like to listen to like real hype music, but for
It
me, like
depends.
for me, it's like I'd rather mellow out and just like I like Sexual Feeling. Like
I mean,
that's a great song.
that's a good song. I don't care what
Yeah.
anyone says. Like,
Yeah,
that's a good song. Look,
Marvin Gaye, man. I mean,
hey,
maybe
look.
any day.
Anything. Okay, so top 5 artists you enjoy listening to.
Ooh, Billy Joel, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye. Who else? I'll throw the Beatles in there
Of course, I love the Beatles.
and Led Zeppelin.
Okay, so favorite Billy Joel song.
New York State of Mind.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Uptown Girl.
No,
No,
I'm actually not a fan of that one.
really?
Not like it's good, but it's not my top.
Wait, well, there's another version done by like another group, but that's just, I mean, understandable. Okay, but okay, so what's your favorite Beatles song?
Hey Jude.
Love it. That's good. That's good with fire. Let's see. My last hot take question for you is: if you had to live, you only have to live with one thing with the rest of your life. If someone said, "Hey, I'll give you $1 million to live in this mansion," right?
Mm.
But you can never visit your family. You can't call them, text them, none of that. You just gotta live in this mansion for 1 year. Would you do it?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I know that's kind of crazy, but why not? For just a year?
Yeah, that's a year. I mean, you get food, water, all that stuff, but you can't talk to no one for a
So
whole
I
year.
keep the mansion after the year.
No, you just take the money.
Oh, well then yeah.
Okay,
Of
cool.
course.
Okay, cool. Well, then that's the rest of all of my hot takes. I mean, every week we'll do some hot takes with our guests, ask them some questions, see what they're saying, see what they're feeling. We always like to ask the pizza one because there are some people who like it, but we just want to know why. Because I don't like it. I think Marilyn might like it. I don't remember.
I know my mom likes it.
I just don't understand why. I tried it to understand why, and I don't like it. Like, it tastes so weird.
And I think it depends on where you get it too.
That too, but I know the pizza I got it from. It was good. It was like a good spot. I always got pizza from there, so I knew it was gonna be a good pizza slice. But when I got it, I was like, nah, bro. Like, how can you eat this?
Yeah.
But hey, it's all good. But with that being said, that brings us to the end of the podcast. First and foremost, thank you, Kurtis, for coming on and talking about this thing called life. We appreciate you coming on and talking with us.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. And as always, we thank you guys for watching. If you want to look at more, there's more on our YouTube channel, so go check them out. Maybe we'll have Kurtis on here again to talk about another cool topic that he's doing. As always, this is Steven from HU Flow. I'll see you guys next time. Later, guys.